Your goddess guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization. Today is February 14th. We are officially on the eve of the eclipse. So I hope that everything's going well. You all know my habits. I love making these videos. Um, just life gets so busy for me sometimes that I'm not always consistent. So you seeing me on here, you know, I'm caught up in the energy of Aquarius. This is the time of Aquarius. For a little while longer, then we go into my season. My sun sign is Pisces. So let's get ready to pate, Pisces. What I want to talk to you about in this video, just really quickly, is a question that, is it the last damn gamer? Something like that, asked me, and I decided, you know what, I'll just answer this in video format. So I was asked, did I follow all the rules? I guess upon initiation. Yesterday, I made the comment, if you're in Ifa and somebody's trying to tell you what to do all the time, it's all these rules that you have to follow, maybe you want to watch that. So I really want to talk about my experience, because I think that what you feel, how you operate within Ifa, it is completely colored by who you initiate with. And when I say Ifa, I'm talking about all the anything that uses Ifa divination, that calls on the Orisha, the Santeria, Candomblé, Lukumi. I'm talking about it all right? To me, it's all one and the same. And so my teachers, Oshinike and Babaji Kolioso, they are with the Institute of Whole Life Healing. Ia initiated originally, I think, in Santeria, and Babaji, I think he just went directly into Ifa. Both of them had studied other spiritual systems like Buddhism. Baba was really deep. He was an imam in Islam before he initiated into Ifa. I don't know the timeline for what they did before and everything, but my godparents are eclectic, so they highly color and dictate my approach to Ifa. So I initiated with people who weren't, they had, the way I interpret it. Now, if you talk to them, they might say differently. They had already initiated and, done it in the traditional way. Let me say it that way, whatever that means. Because those of us here in the West don't necessarily practice Ifa like those in Yoruba land. And so, but, people have tried to learn, the traditional way and operate according to the traditional way. But anyone who's in this spiritual tradition knows it's arguments everywhere about how to do what. That's what I'm talking about. You didn't do it this way. You're supposed to do it that way. So my godparents had already been down that path. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. We ain't doing it like that. Their biggest thing is self-realization. Their biggest thing is enlightenment. And Ifa is a path towards enlightenment. And so on the path to enlightenment, there are not really rules. There are no rules. So when that is what you are focused on, then it changes how you will engage with the religion called Ifa, okay, and all its various manifestations. And so my position is that so I decided to initiate. A lot of us flirt around with it. We read all the books. We learn about the Orisha. We listen to people talking about Ifa. Like the gamer said, it's shrouded in secrecy. And there is a reason. I can see why there is a reason why it's shrouded in secrecy. To a certain degree, especially in the West, we had to have it be secret, or else we might would die. We might would be killed. And you know how sometimes things just kind of stick with it, just kind of stick with that, the way it was done originally because it was needed and necessary. And then I can see how it's shrouded in secrecy because, in my view, especially people of African descent, we get, especially in the United States, we get very, very possessive with African culture because it was taken from us. And once we find it, we don't want anyone else to have anything to do with it unless they are a part of the group. And so for Ifa initiation, people are keeping it secretive because we get possessive, I feel, in the West because of our history. This is why Egun are so important to us. And then, and so, yes, it's shrouded. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is shrouded in secrecy because it is real. We go through the initiations, and therefore, there are just certain things that should just be kept within the initiation because it does open up powerful things. And, a word that we hear quite a bit in Ifa is awo, mystery. That is part of the initiatory process. We're initiating, there's awo, there's mysteries. And I just feel like mysteries, the way the universe works, forget any one religion. The way the mysteries works is awo will be revealed to the ones who are ready for the awo. And so initiation in Ifa will lead us to experiencing awo, just, at different levels, wherever we are in our own personal development. Because I don't feel a lot of priests and priestesses are even coming close to understanding the awo that they are connected to. And this is based on my own personal experience. This awo thing doesn't just magically happen. You have to be responsible and you have to be ready to deal with it. Okay? And so this is part of the reason that Ifa can be shrouded in secrecy. My position, the longer I remain initiated, is that it is a path to self-realization, self-mastery, and enlightenment. And therefore, my path is going to be my path. The other thing I know is that the Orisha are everywhere. The Orisha are touching us as we sit and, engage this video. You can't not be exposed to the Orisha, the Awo. Another thing I think is, why would we want to keep this from the world? And so the way I share, it's largely based on my own path. My godparents are more about do the inner work. If I would say there's anything, it's character development, which everyone knows that's what we talk about. But when folks are just talking about, well, this Orisha and that Orisha and wearing the colors and just different things like that, I don't even really know anymore because, that's just not my focus. I don't hang out with people who talk like that. Not knocking it. I'm just saying that's not me right now. Just reading all the books or whatever. But it is about opening us up within, and we're supposed to do the work. So if we had to bottom line anything, it's about character development. How many of us are like, you know what, Ifa, the only thing I want to do in Ifa is to develop good character. That's my passion. You don't hear people saying that. They want to initiate. They want to get these legates. They want to, become a priest and a priestess. And my godparents are vehemently like, we don't do that. Why would you initiate just to look the part and not be the part, you know? And so that's how I operate because of how I was initiated. My godparents were like, we're going to do this traditionally, but sort of not. So, for instance, when I got my legays, it was so long ago, I had no idea I was going to initiate and become a priestess or anything at that point. But we did have to write a paper on these legays. Okay, you had to write a paper because they didn't want us just getting the legays. Like, you need to know something about your legays when you get them. And when we initiate into the priesthood, in we go through about an 18-month initiation rite. Now, my godparents live in Kentucky, but they will meet with us online, like via teleconference. And we have, I don't even know everything we do. So, for instance, I won't talk about everything we do in our initiation. Now, I might say, yes, I got my hand of Ifa. I might say I got my warriors, but I won't necessarily go into detail about what I had to do. And to a large extent, I feel like either you're called or you're not. Just handing out initiations, that's not good for people. It's not going to do anything for them. As a matter of fact, it can wound people. And so people that need to be willing to take a risk and take that leap of faith and jump, okay? So, but I do know that it was a lot of introspection. We do a lot of introspective work. Okay. Sienna, how can you protect yourself from your godparents? Okay. I will answer that. So, but we have to do a lot of introspective work, and they don't want us crossing. The way Ia will describe it is peel away the layers of our conditionings so that once the energy of the Orisha is opened up within us, then, yeah, then it will be able to come through and it will be able to lead, guide, and direct us and not open up and be a freaking mess because we got all these layers of lies and hurt and pains and wounds. This is the way that my godparents initiate me. This is how I was initiated. Okay, let me say it this way. This was the process that I went through because the other thing I want to say is my godparents are clear. We do not initiate you. We set up the process. We are your guides, but it is the Orisha that initiates you. And so when we finish, they tell us, go sit down and listen for your Orisha's voice. Wait for your Orisha to talk to you. Okay? They're not trying to show us all these rituals we need to be doing. They don't put us on a prayer, schedule, or not say put us on a prayer schedule, but really none of that. For us, it's about what did your Orisha say you do? If your Orisha says do more of the traditional route of Ifa, then they'll show us that. If our Orisha give us our own rights to do that. If our Orisha gives us a mix of Ifa and other rights that come through, do that. Because Ifa is for what is now. That is one thing I love about Ifa. Especially the way it is taught by my godparents. And another one I love to hear from is Baba Femi. He'll say, we are creating Odu. We are creating, our own experience. Because what Ifa was in Africa, it can't all the time translate over here. We've got to translate it and make it what it is. Ifa is flexible. And so, it's there. That's what I said yesterday. There's not any one way to be thinking if you're an Ifa. Now, I am one who feels if I chose my godparents to initiate with, I should listen to them. They are clear. When you don't want to hear what we have to say, then we bless you and, wish you on to the next place you're supposed to be. There are no have tos, okay? If we want to know more, they will tell us more. Whatever we need to know. They know the traditional route. They know people who do the traditional route of Ifa. But their route is self-realization, self-mastery. And Ifa is technology. It is tool. It is a tool. Now, let's say you've initiated. You're getting divination. And I just feel we should be getting divination to get free, honey. We should not be needing every time I need a reading, I got to go to somebody. Y'all know I've said I plan on trying to teach folks how to divine because it has helped me in my own life so much. Why would I not want to share that? But divination, the Ifa should be your guide. Ifa, not a person, not some book. They even told us you better not pick up a book. Don't be picking up no books. You need to let it teach you. Did our ancestors have books? No, they were the book. We are the Orisha. We are the wisdom. And so to me, what I was saying is I did, when they said go sit and listen to your Orisha, that's what I did. Okay. There is a part of me that says, like, for instance, I'm learning astrology. I'm trying to learn astrology the way the person I've chosen to listen to teaches it. I do believe in following, you know, whatever my teacher is showing me, as long as it's not hurting me, I'm going to listen. Because if I don't know anything, how can I be teachable? We want to be teachable. And then at some point, I go free. I think this is my path, though. I chose the teachers that I chose because that's my destiny. Okay. Now, Sienna asked, what if you have godparents who are attached to you for the ching ching? See, this is the problem as I see it. And it's not just Ifa, it's a lot of religions where money is driving that spiritual leader. And so I don't believe we can keep anyone attached to us that we don't allow to stay attached to us. We choose relationships and then we cut them off when it's time to end. If your godparent is attached to you over money, just detach, cut them off, you know? And this is why we have to learn how to search our heart and trust ourselves. Because if our spiritual teacher goes rogue, we need to be able to sense that and move on. And move on. And so, maybe you have to do some energetic cuts and all that kind of good stuff. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I fear nothing and no one. I do get confused when, say, for instance, people want to come and work with my godparents. And my godparents are like, oh, we got to go talk to your godparents. I'm like, really? Wow. That's something that seems to be a traditional thing. These godparents have a lot of say. Not my godparents. Now, I have enough respect for my godparents. If I decided I want to go work with another Ifa, priest or priestess, I would tell them, but they would probably be like, whatever. Why are you telling me? They don't attach to us like that. And so if you don't like it, I say cut it. Don't pay them. What are they going to do? They can't force you to do anything. And, at the end of the day, it is your Ori that will protect you. You call on your ancestors to protect you and show you how to break the tie and cut it loose. And, call on the warriors. I don't believe I need to initiate into nothing to call on the energy of protection. Now, I can call it Ogun, or I could just say, hey, angels of protection. What do I need to do? So I just encourage people to, make the break if you need to. Make the break if you need to. All right, y'all. I am headed out. I appreciate you all for watching this video. For those of you who are interested in Ifa, I do believe in the traditional path. I do hope that people keep the traditional way going because we need it in order for, we've got to keep Ifa alive, you know, but we don't want to put ourselves in a box. We don't want to do that, all right? We do not want to put ourselves in a box. So, oh, one last thing. Energy today is Ma'at, positive. This is a time to be open to truth, create more balance in your life. Make sure you keep your eye on the big picture, okay? You want to keep your eye on the big picture. And don't miss seeing the forest for the trees. And make sure you understand that forgiveness is key, all right? Love you all. Y'all have a great day. Peace.